Okay, shooting the moon. You know, I don't really like shooting the moon, but there's a certain situation where if you've got nice foreground interest, the moon can actually look pretty good. And a lot of people make the mistake of doing that at night. So what if you could get the moon during the day in one exposure with some foreground interest? Let's do this. Oof. Okay, so I've shot the moon before from this location. I actually did a photo shoot a couple of years ago, getting the moon behind the Spinnaker Tower, which is just over there. Let's have a look. Spinnaker Tower, we've got a few clouds in the sky. But getting the moon exposed for and the Spinnaker Tower exposed for at the same time is impossible. And now I've done a video about this recently, about why I don't shoot the moon, all that kind of stuff. So watch that, it'll be up in the corner just there. And there's situations where a few months ago I went to Spinnaker windmill to get this type of shot, so getting the moon exposed for with the windmill. And actually I made the big mistake of actually going a few days too late, which meant the moon actually rose after the sun had set, which meant the sky was getting too dark. And by the time the moon was in a position up in the sky, because you have to wait for the moon to get into position behind the object like Spinnaker Tower, that could be an hour after the moonrise, which means it's even darker, which meant it even more impossible to get that single exposure. But tonight we are pre-full moon, so we're a day, I think tomorrow's full moon 100%, so we're at 98% today. I don't know what kind of moon they call that. They got all kind of funny names for it. I don't really know, that doesn't really bother me. But because of that, it actually rises about 2 hours before sunset. The sun's going to set over the back that way, blue skies that way with a bit of cloud cover. Actually the moon is actually set to rise now, but where it's going to rise on the horizon, we've got buildings and stuff over there. Actually got a band of cloud as well, so I need to wait probably half hour or so before the moon actually reaches a certain position in the sky where I want to get a picture of that and the Spinnaker Tower. Like a mouthful, it's really difficult. Hope that makes sense. It'll make sense in a minute, because I'm actually going to shoot a slightly different style of vlog today. Today you're going to come with me on a POV style video. Now that means point of view, if you haven't heard of that before, and that means I've got one of these on. I bought this off a gentleman the other day with the idea of doing this kind of shoot, because I like to teach. It's often impossible for me to set up my vlogging camera as well as my normal camera and explain what's going on all in the same time. So I'm going to be using this a lot more, so it means that as I'm setting my stuff up, you're actually seeing what I'm doing, and I can talk to that as well, so that'll be video. So hopefully that'll work. If you like that kind of video, let me know in the comments. If it doesn't really bother you, let me know too, whatever. And I'm going to wait a little while for the moon to rise, hopefully have enough time, because I want to try and get a sunset tonight as well. So I want to be out of here by about 4, which is in about an hour and a half time. So I want to get that moon rise with the Spinnaker Tower. Let's see if we can do it. I'll talk you through it as well. So the next shot will be coming from the video from that thing. I'll see you there. Okay, so there's the big hybrid coming out, going to the Isle of Wight. There's the police down there. We've got a bit of a problem, because I think the cloud cover on the horizon over here is going to maybe cover the moon. The moon is currently rising directly in front of us. It's going to track across the Spinnaker Tower, hopefully. And then I was going to go and get a sunset, but now we've got loads of cloud over there too, so I don't know what's going to potentially happen. We've got a load of Pokemon goers come up here. That's not weird at all. So I'm actually going to set up for a time lapse. I was going to put my 70 to 200 because I brought that with me today, but I think if I set up my 2470, I'm going to have a better chance. I can crop in later. I've got the A7R4 with me, so the potential to crop in is always going to be fairly easy. Now what am I going to do in terms of composition, because I've got this bloody great big thing in my way here, so I might have to come this way a little bit. And the moon's going to track up and across, but I might be in the wrong position for the moonshot I wanted. I might have to recompose, but let's see what we can get. A bit windy up here. I hope the wind isn't causing too many issues with my audio. I think the Pokemon Go is going to be more of an issue than anything else. Pokemon Go. It's not weird at all. Whatever. Oh. Like I said, I've got my A7R4 along with my 2470 on there at the moment. See if we can get something there that might look like a good shot. Now I'm right by the water, so I'm being uber careful, because the last thing I want is to have issues. I'm going to put my bag, make sure everything's tight first. I'm going to put my bag on my back, because you just never know. So the sun's behind me. I'm not too worried about sun glare, so I'm going to leave my hood as it is. And I hope you can see that there. Let's just line it up a little bit for you. I've got a pretty good composition at 24mm. I'm going to set my focus just beneath the horizon line there. Take a picture, it's quite nice. I'm going to put my camera into manual focus, so unless I hit the focus ring, that's not going to change. ISO 11, ISO 100, f11, and 1160 if I'm getting. Now I might want a bit more of the sky. The sky's quite dramatic, so I'm going to actually lean this up ever so slightly. I'm going to zoom into about 35. I've got the Spinnaker Tower in the middle on purpose. Means when I crop in later, I can crop it into one of the rule of thirds, and I can do that myself manually. Let's have a look at that. It's maybe a little bit. It says I'm underexposed by a full stop. You've got to remember that the sun is going down behind me. It's behind a cloud at the moment as well, so it's going to get a bit brighter. So let's keep it underexposed for one full stop. Now in the Sony, I've got a custom menu button to start interval shooting. Now the biggest problem I've got on here as well is that this platform moves, so I might have to do a little bit of correction later on with steadying my camera. I've got a steady shot off because I'm on a tripod anyway. But let's have a look. 4-second intervals. Let's go 5-second intervals, 300 shots, and go. Now the moon should rise up over there somewhere in a bit, and I'm on a pontoon. This thing does move, so I'm hoping that I'm going to get some really nice cloud movement. It's actually going pretty fast, and there's a lot of cloud coming over there. Maybe you can see that. Well, that's started. I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit far away probably on camera, but I can see the moon. The moon is up. It's just above that building just there. I don't know whether you can see it. I'm going to try and get a picture of it on my phone camera. But the moon is rising. Let's have a look. ×5. Can you see the moon just above the that brown building just to the right corner? See it? Try and get a picture of it as well.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah, hopefully
What camera have you got?
That's the A7R4.
Oh, well, good luck.
Thank you very much. Fingers crossed. You can just see it there. I don't think you see it on. I think it's probably quite far away on the video. But. Okay, I've made a decision. I've got 125 shots on a time lapse. That's only going to give me a couple of seconds, but the moon is rising pretty fast and the clouds coming in. I'm going to lose the moon if I don't get a picture of it properly on my 70-200 now. So let's do a couple more shots. We've got No, we don't have time. Let's stop that. Turn that off. Let's get this off of the camera. Okay, and I should, hopefully, potentially, be able to get a shot with my 70-200 from a little bit further down the pontoon, which is going to give, well, it's going to make sure the moon is a little bit closer to the Spinnaker Tower. It's going to be behind it, unfortunately. It's not going to be where I wanted it to be, but I've not got a lot of choice because the cloud cover's coming in, and I'm going to lose the moon completely if I don't get this shot. Like, be really careful with my 70-200 because I dropped it a few years ago and it's never really been the same. Let's have a look. Actually, let's put it on there. Actually, we won't put it on there because there's a lot of messing around. Let's do this because after I get this shot I can shoot off and get to where I want it to be for a potential sunset. That moon's about to go. We need to hurry up. Oh, you know, when you nearly fail. I'm hoping for the best here. I don't know how it's going to come out. I'm going to get a couple of as many shots as I can, handheld with my 70-200, and you're going to see them as I do it. Let's do this. Let's go further down here. Put my trusty wrist strap on, because without that you just never know what's going to happen. Let's get rid of the seagull. See you later. There's the sun's going down. We've got about an hour and 10 minutes before the sun has literally gone. Let's see. I don't know if you can see this in camera. So we've got the moon right there. Let's have a what I'm doing now. I'm trying to keep it so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can. I'm putting it up to my eye now. Sorry, I'm going to try and get it. I'm exposing it ever so slightly. Let's have a look. Let's do that up a little bit. Zoom in, and we have the moon. I think we're going to lose it. Go on, mate.
Oh yeah.
How's it going? All right.
Yeah.
Have a good night, mate.
Yeah,
all right.
cheerio.
Take it easy, buddy. Right, we're going to get back to the car. I'm not going to try and get the moon. Well, I mean, I could wait for the moon to go higher, but then we're going to lose a lot of light, which doesn't make any sense, because we then have to think about 2 exposures, and that's not what I'm here for. I've got the moon coming up in a very short time lapse, which you'll see now, and I'm going to get back to the car and mosey on for what I hope is going to be a good sunset. I'll see you shortly. Wicor Wreck. In fact, there's a couple of wrecks down here. We've got the main one, which is there. I think there's another one a bit further down. It's low tide, so there's absolutely no water. We can get quite close to it, but we're also going to get hopefully some reflection off the mud flats. We will see. Got to watch out for things like that, which I'm going to trip over if I'm not careful. So we've got, what time is it? We've got probably, say, about half an hour before sunset, and I'm hopeful that that band of cloud on the horizon there moves across enough we get the light patch that's over there come more over here, because sun's going to set like right over the top of the wreck from here, give or take. Let me go this way a little bit. So across the top of the wreck from there, and fingers crossed we're going to be good. Got a bit of time. We'll set up in a second. Just check in the apps. and my battery life. So let's get set up. I might get a time lapse. Afternoon.
Hiya.
So I'm a bit anal about where my ball head is facing on my tripod, because I have my, like most people I suppose have their own way of doing things. Right, I'm not going to need a filter, it's going to be too dark for that. Leave all that in there. I have my 24-70 on there. I'm going to put my backpack on my back. Shouldn't need anything really. I might keep these filters out. I've got a circular polarizer in there if I need it, which I don't think I will, but I also have a 10 stop, which I don't think I'm going to use, but it's nice to keep it to hand. Let's see if we can get this wrapped around somewhere. Let's see if we can just fix it to that. Hopefully it don't flap around in the wind too much. So it's there if we need it. Okay, I'm going to get set up somewhere where I know the let's have a look. Well, I know the sun's going to be setting, so let's open up the apps, go to TPE, find where we are. It should pick us up pretty easily. No, that's no good. Try again. We are by, come on, we're by Wicor. There we go, that's picked us up pretty well. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. If I can zoom in. From where we are at the moment, from where I'm at the moment, it's saying that, actually I don't think it's quite got me quite right. I think I'm near a, oh, maybe it is. It's saying the sun's going to go down on that edge. Well, I think it's going to be more in the middle. Okay, so that's fine. Not a problem. You can see that there, parked up by the cafe parking, and walked down past the cafe, which is just there. There's people in the cafe, and yeah, sun is going to set, yeah, pretty much straight ahead of us. So I'm going to set up for, so we're going to set up for the sunset directly ahead of us. Hopefully the clouds, which are pretty epic to be fair, and I need to get on this, move in and across fast enough to get a decent time lapse, and we get a decent sunset, and I'll be able to use one of those pictures. I need to find somewhere that's fairly sturdy, so I want to be on top of, I don't want to be on the mud, but the seaweed here actually gives me a little bit of, let's lift that up. The seaweed gives me a little bit of stability for my time lapse. I'm probably going to have to stabilise this anyway. I know I'm going to have to stabilise the other one I did earlier, because that is just way too bouncy on that little pier type thing that we had. Let's go full out 24. I'm going to start my intervals. I'm going to put it in interval times there. Let's go on. And 300, I'm actually going to put that to 400, which gives me 33 minutes. Currently is going to take us past, that should take us up to sunset. So I might have to exposure ramp at that point. But let's go with that. I'm at ISO 100, f11. And I know my focus is going to be okay, it's focused to infinity, so it should be all in focus. And yeah, hopefully that sky's going to move quick enough we get a sunset. I'll come back to you shortly, and hopefully that is the case. Look at that sky! Oh! My time lapse is being set up just there, getting the wreck. There's loads of wrecks down there. There's one there, in fact. There's one there. I don't know, there's bound to be some more somewhere else. I'm just looking at, I'm in the mud at the moment because I wanted to see what the moon was doing. I wondered whether I should have waited, and potentially I should have done. Don't get me wrong, I think I'm going to get a really good sunset, but I could have come back for that any time. The moon rising by the Spinnaker Tower. Let's see if I can get that. You see it just there. It's now not in cloud cover, which means it probably would have been good if I'd stayed, but then I wouldn't have got this. So it's a trade-off, you know, it's all about balance. What do you want to do? I had both locations in mind tonight. If the first one didn't work, which I didn't think it was gonna, I had this as a backup. If I thought potentially that I wasn't going to get a sunset at all, I probably would have stayed and waited out the moon. But we've got a lot of cloud over there. I'm a little bit concerned, like I said in the video, that this band of free cloud here, or the band that's not got cloud in it, isn't going to make it in time for the sunlight, for the sunset. But fingers crossed it does. And I'm going to get back to the POV in a second, so the next bit of video. What do you think of the point of view video from the thing? Do you like it? Is it any good? Let me know down in the comments. If you're enjoying this video, whack a thumbs up. If you think it's just going to be too long and you're not that fussed about it, let me know too. I'd like to know what everyone thinks. It's just another way of communicating what I'm doing to you, rather than having to set up my vlogging camera somewhere. You know, if I'm in town, I don't like setting my camera up on a tripod elsewhere, talking to it while I'm doing something over here, because there's the potential for someone to come by and nab it. But this time lapse that I'm doing now is looking pretty spectacular. Even if I don't get the sunset, I'm getting a lot of really nice cloud cover, and it's moving fairly fast down there, so the time lapse should look pretty good. There's a lot of, I think it's medium to low cloud. I don't think there's much high cloud. Sometimes you get that differentiation in the cloud cover, so sometimes the higher clouds are going one way and the lower clouds are going another, but I don't think that's happening here. It's hard to tell by looking at it. You have to watch the time lapse back, but that's coming in a second, so wait for that. I'm going to do a little bit more talking once the sun has set with a POV. I might do a POV back to the car, just do a little bit back to the car, but I don't know yet. Or I might get one or two more pictures, I just don't know. But for the time being, I'm going to say thank you and good night. Thanks for joining me on this video. If you've got anything out of it, like I said, please whack a thumbs up. I enjoyed doing these. I wanted to do this as a kind of workshop to teach people, but I left it a little bit too late because I only really thought about it this morning. Then by the time I thought about doing it as a workshop, it was just too late. I had a bit of interest, but it was from people who just couldn't get there and had other commitments. So it's a bit of a shame, but I think it would have been a good workshop to teach. But I'm teaching with this point of view stuff, so you can see what I'm doing, which is actually really, really good. I'm going to enjoy that. I've got lots coming up. In a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to Wales. Going to Wales. That's a bit of a secretive one. I'm going there with Jed. We're going to look at some waterfalls. That's going to be pretty epic. And then I've got London back to Canary Wharf and the Isle of Dogs. That is pretty epic. That's going to be epic. I can't wait for the next couple of months, and I'm actively going to be using the point of view stuff, the POV stuff, because I think it enables me to talk while I'm doing stuff, explaining what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and that's, you know, that's what I want. I want to be able to teach, so you guys get to see what the crack is. Right, I'm going to get going. Thank you for watching the video. Please whack a thumbs up, like I said, that helps. Leave a comment down below, that helps too. That helps quite a bit actually. Leave me a question, let me know what you thought of the video. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get updates every time I upload a new video. And until the next one, I'll see you boys.